What if Vince McMahon never had to retire?
Ever wondered what would happen if Ric Flair had his own dating agency? Or what about the hot tags, cool takes, Mount Rushmore? We've got ours. Have you got yours?
All of that and much, much more on this month's Hot Tags, Cold Takes. Let's go!
Hello and welcome back to what is episode 2 of Hot Tags, Cold Takes. I'm Nick and I'm joined here by James, I think. Well, do not open until the 3rd of the 26th. I think we should just open it anyway.
That's me!
It's James! He's here!
It's Hot Tags. We're in the business. How we doing?
We are well. James, I just want to stop you before we go any further there. I seen you had a little box on your head and it reminded me of something. I have the contract here. Now, you told me it was on a napkin. Firstly, that was a lie. It's on paper. I mean, come on. So, yes, these are my demands. These are what you promised me. So, the contract, it says on this, James, that you promised me millions of monies in the bank. You also promised to teach me how to swim. You then said that you would introduce me to the man with 3 H's. Still haven't done that either. You also had promised me a BFF handshake. Where's that to be at? And lastly, if a chair spins, you must spin in it, James. Are you on the chair that spins?
I can do some of them things. I can do some of them things. Hold on. I can spin.
Ah, chair that spins.
So
hold on. I need to check that one off my list. Hold on.
Remind me again what was on your list.
Millions of monies in the bank. Teach me how to swim.
Can you tie a cement block around your ankles?
Can you help tie knots?
Yes. That I can
do. Okay, so that one's pending. All right, pending. Then you said you would introduce me to the man with 3 H's.
There's the man with 3, Haroldson from Haroldtown. I'll introduce you. Is that who you were talking about? He works in the
shop. Must have been yeah, I mean, he's probably from where I was when I was down on a wee trip away there. Probably he must be down there somewhere. And then also, since we've ticked off the chair, that only leaves a BFF handshake. James, have you got a BFF handshake in you for me?
No. Can you come up? I don't know what that was. For anybody who's listening, I don't know what just happened on the screen there. It wasn't great. Okay, Nick, listen, you give me a PDF version of that. I don't take scrumpled up notes. You're going to have to PDF that one. And I know that you use 2 different crayons for that. So,
I mean, you give it to me, but okay.
Listen, send me an email, okay? I only answer emails. Nick, I've got a question for you. Now that you've given me your demands.
Okay.
Your demand housens, I think, is the official phrase that we're going with there.
What are you? Demands? Yes, demand housings.
I want to know, how are you since we last had a little show?
I have been great. Last show went well. I mean, we're back, episode 2. Bigger, better, badder, I guess. I mean, the Spanish could be out this show. I strongly believe that our viewers, our listeners, will get a massive eye full of Spanish or an earful of Spanish, depending on where you're listening to this podcast.
Really? Yeah, I think so. I also want to say that it is quite clear that a certain new member of the WWE roster is over with us because of how we've started this show. And according to the laws of everything wrestling, I am now officially over because I came out of a box. Your demand housings are, I'm concerned about them, but we will get to them. Also, I want to take a wee minute, if you don't mind, to talk about everything that happened in the last month in terms of stats, some haters. We've already talked in the intro of the show that we have some good, hopefully funny stuff coming up this month. This month. But the haters, Nick, I want to reference one in particular. We got a comment from a guy who says, every time I see these guys, I just want to block them. Yet commenting on us is what you did instead. So I want to thank you deeply for your hate. I want to thank you deeply for pushing the algorithm, I think is the word we're going to use. And Nick, if you don't mind, I would like to share some stats from the last 3 weeks, because it's only been 3 weeks from we recorded episode 1 to recording episode 2. And for everyone listening or watching, the intention is we're going to record once a month. It'll hopefully come out the second week of every month. That's the plan, but sometimes things get in the way between work and that. But that's the plan going forward. Shall I show the wonderful viewers how many views? Well, it says views on the screen, but it's views/listens in the last 3 weeks.
James, are you telling me we're about to have a celebration?
We're going to celebrate, and I've got the Party Flamingo here that's coming to see us. So I'm going to just get the Party Flamingo ready while I show this.
Let's get the stats on the go then, shall we?
Okay. 3, 7, 6, 2, 1. 114,000 views/listens in the last month. Party Flamingo. Let's get the Party Flamingo. Here we go.
Episode 2, Evelyn. Way!
I'm worried the Party Flamingo gives me a bit.
Flamingo shirts, boy.
What is that?
Flamingo, it's party time.
I'm worried that the Party Flamingo has a bit of a soft neck that maybe may portray a feeling about me that some people are probably now being proved right. I'll leave it to your imagination. But episode 2, 114,000 views/listens last month. Are you trying to make a? I'm not. Oh, I thought it was it's like a really shit Penn and Teller. I'm gonna get rid of the Party Flamingo. Anything you've got to say, Party Flamingo, on the mic? No. No.
Okay, that's enough of that.
This isn't. We're not doing a 5-second pause. Thank you, everybody who's viewed and listened to everything that we've put out in the last couple of months. Thanks everybody for all that. 114,000 views and listens in the last month, our last 3 weeks, especially given the fact that we are very, very new to the game. So we really, really appreciate that, guys, and we're really pleased to be here shooting episode 2, which will hopefully be coming out on the day that we shoot it, which is right now. So for those who are watching it, the day that we shoot it is today, which is right now, which is the day that we shoot it, which is what the day that we released it. So whatever day it is in your calendar is the day that I just referenced. That could be next week. Okay, is that clear?
James has had caffeine. Can you tell, boys?
I've had half a Monster. Half a white Monster. It's like nectar, man. I drink 3 of these a day. I'm going to collapse. Nick, we have already talked in our opening that we are going to cover some things today, and I am beyond excited to hear about Ric Flair's dating agency, which you've been working on for the last 3 weeks. We're going to talk a little bit about our Wrestling Mount Rushmores, and then the main event segment today is we want to do a what if segment, which is what if Vince never retired when he had to retire. There's other titles for that that's probably less PG that we're not going to talk about now. But I think to start off with, Nick, we should talk about the road to WrestleMania. Let's get the wrestling talk out of the way early before we go on and talk severe top-tier Spanish later on in the show. How about that?
Sounds like a plan. So let's kick it off for the big talking point at the moment. You've got Roman Reigns and CM Punk. CM Punk cut probably one of the most brutalist promos on Roman Reigns there. Was it 2 Mondays ago? About, his father in the grave, and everyone just went absolutely mad with it. I mean,
I may be in the minority here, but when I watched their first promo, when Roman picked CM Punk as his WrestleMania opponent. Listen, first of all, fair play to CM Punk. He's going to be an event night 2. That's going to be the #1 match. There's no doubt about that, and he's got where he wanted to be. So well done him. And as someone who has been a CM Punk fan, I'm glad to see it. I'm going to get so much hate for this. I got a little bit of Rock Austin WrestleMania 17 vibes just when they first started. It felt big time, in my opinion. Now, my opinion, Rock Austin WrestleMania 17 is the peak of pro wrestling in my mind. But to me, it felt very big time. It felt like they're going down this route of I absolutely hate you. I doubt it was planned at the time, but throwing back to when Punk held the belt up behind Roman Reigns' back, leaving Survivor Series and all that sort of stuff, I think that was good. And then obviously I'm wondering what it's led to with the Usos return. Do we have a return of the Bloodline? But I mean, my initial thoughts on this was, I think it's a good way to go. I think if I had went Punk Roman again, I would have been free too many times. I think we're bored of that now. Don't know what you think.
Well, Punk and Roman. Am I right in saying that they've only ever wrestled each other once before? Am I
I
right?
think so.
I think I'm right in saying that. And Roman won that match as well, if I remember correctly. It was many moons ago. CM Punk Roman Reigns night 2 of WrestleMania is probably the biggest match of the whole card. Over the 2 nights. I think that's a no brainer. CM Punk, is he going to get the big moment in WrestleMania? Is he going to retain the championship, or is Roman Reigns going to take it away? With the help of the Usos, without the help of the Usos, I don't necessarily know. I don't know where that angle could be going at the moment. But if Roman Reigns wins the title, are we in for another 2-3 year reign of the pun there of Roman? But if this is where I sort of try to get my mind to go with it, if Punk wins, where does Punk go next? Who comes for Punk? Who's he going to drop the title to? Because I know we discussed on episode 1 the line of the future of the stars of who could be number 1 in WWE, but it's still too early, for likes of a Trick Willie or an Nova family to stake claim at the top.
Yeah, well, I don't think either of them are at the stage right now where they're going to sell out of WrestleMania. So I think you're right in your assessment there. I'm not sure where they're going to go with the Usos part of this one. And the reason I say that is I didn't think the match needed them, but they've used them. And surely they're not going to use them just as a one-off Raw segment, and that's going to be the end of it because it doesn't fit anybody's character. So are they stacking the deck against CM Punk and he's going to come out victorious right at the end at WrestleMania? Or are they stacking the deck in a way that allows Roman to beat him so that Punk stays strong?
That's a very strong point that you've raised there. Because CM Punk doesn't necessarily have many friends within WWE. He's always sort of went on his own. He's still sort of going on his own. Can he single-handedly take on the Bloodline, essentially, is what would happen? Or, do you have Fatu? Oh no, Fatu is occupied, sorry. Do you have Solo? Do you have him come in and maybe here, Punk, I'll do you a solid here and, take out the Usos? Or, I don't know, there's too many different avenues that you could go down with this one.
I don't know. Who do you think wins? Who if you're booking it, who comes out on top at WrestleMania?
Punk.
Yeah, I think that's where I go too, but I can't pick where I think it's going to go. I'm actually just looking here. So WrestleMania 42 is on the 18th of April, and I don't know if I want to do predictions because we'll potentially have episode 3 out before then, so we'll not get too deep into that. But I do think the matches they've went for Roman and Punk as the main event of what's going to be night 2. I don't think if that's not the case, I'll eat the flamingo. I will eat this flamingo live on the podcast if that's not the main event of night 2.
I will hold you to that.
I know you will. I just realised that after I said it. The other main event is going to be Cody and Randy. I'm going to start by saying you hate Drew McIntyre.
Result, right?
Right. I didn't necessarily hate Drew McIntyre, but I like Cody versus Randy more as a WrestleMania main event. I think it's bigger than Drew McIntyre. But my puzzle, what? But what?
But it's more aimed at the likes of us. Essentially, you had Randy and Cody from way back. I just don't see Randy walking out the champion line. I saw something online the other day that this build up for Randy to chase the title had started a whole year ago from Monday Night Raw, whenever Cena had the belt and Randy Orton RKO'd Cena out of his boots, or trainers, I suppose we'll say. And ever since it then, Randy's just been chasing and chasing for the year. And now, ultimately, he's won Chamber. He's gone on the main event, Cody Rhodes. A lot of people have wanted Cody versus Randy for a long time. But again, I don't see Randy winning it. I think Cody Rhodes is Cody Rhodes. He's Cody Mania,
Are they going down the road now where they're going to turn Cody Rhodes without turning Cody Rhodes? Because I already feel, even though I know you're happier that Cody took the title off Drew McIntyre, and I think if I had a choice between the two, I would pick Cody too. But the way they booked it, Like, they could have got to this main event without putting the Drew McIntyre title reign in the middle. They could have done that after. And if they're not going to have Drew involved in this title match at WrestleMania, and he's going to go and wrestle Fatu, for example, because if Fatu's cost him the title on SmackDown or whatever, he interfered, then what was the point? Why is he there? Why did he come in at all to begin with? And I worry that some of the internet fans are going to just start turning on Cody now because he's getting that what Vince used to give the Roman Reigns push.
It's already happening. I mean, I've seen it online. I've seen it on a few forums and things. Cody's now, getting that hate. But again, the more hate you get, it's only going to boost Cody Rhodes' popularity at the same time.
Oh yeah,
it's going to increase. It's going to increase the revenue for WWE. It's going to increase revenue for Cody. I mean, realistically, it's a win-win. Whether they turn him face, whether they turn him heel, it doesn't matter. Cody Rhodes sells himself because he's Cody Rhodes. That's it. And it's the same way you had, John Cena, your Hulk Hogan. That's what Cody Rhodes is essentially doing right now.
And then just for me, again, just the lack of understanding, I suppose, where give or take 4 weeks out from WrestleMania now, it's Cody versus Randy is the advertised title match. And it was, again, what was the point of the Drew McIntyre title reign is you've now got 4 weeks to remove him from the title match, remove him from Cody Rhodes and face him up against Fatu. Now, I can see how they're going to do that. They might book a match, but you said it last month. Drew McIntyre's whole character when he was champion and before he was champion was his obsession with Cody Rhodes. Yeah. And they've built that. Are we expected that's just going to disappear in 4 weeks? I don't think it's going to. So I'm wondering, where does that fit in?
Have we don't have an actual night yet for Drew versus Fatu yet? Sure, we don't. We don't know what nights that's going on. So if that goes on night 1, there's still the potential for Drew to interfere and cost Cody or Randy or whoever or Fatu even for that matter, just depending on how it goes. But yeah, I don't think Drew's completely gone from the picture yet, unfortunately. But his reign. People can say what they want. He was carrying SmackDown and whatever, but nah, he's just. I don't even want to say what I want to say about him. I'm starting to get a wee bit riled up here just talking about it now, James. He's not for me. It's not my cup of tea.
You're in the minority because we want Drew was trending heavily before SmackDown when Triple H whoever was on Triple H's socials accidentally released the graphic. There's you, Nick. It was you all along. I think the opinion, I'm going to have another attempt at sharing a sound with you right now. I think the opinion in the wrestling world, not shared by Nick on Triple H, can be best put by our friend Jim Ross. Right? Okay.
Son of a bitch! Why, Triple H? You son of a bitch!
Monday Night Raw last night, Nick, it looks like Finn Balor's turned face. Did we see that coming? I didn't see it coming that way, but it looks like that's the case.
I suppose whenever he was facing off with Punk, I suppose you could argue that the signs were there. He was going off out on his own, and I mean the seeds were sort of planting, for him to break away from Judgment Day. How it happened, I guess, was another story. I didn't see it happening that way, but for me, I guess it only leads one way. I know, obviously, JD took him out, and then there was the re-attack and stuff afterwards and whatever.
Yeah.
But I feel like that now we're obviously going to get a belter of a match there. Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania. That for me is a 10 out of 10 match right there.
Yeah. I think that's a good match. I don't like how they turned him face. Mm-hmm. I get it, and I think it's the right thing to do. I always find that he turned face because the bad guys beat him up, rather than him turning into someone that the fans like. The fans like him because he got beat up, and and the WWE has told the fans that, okay, you have to like him now because we made Judgment Day beat him up. Mm-hmm. Whereas I would have preferred there to be some sort of maybe fallout argument, Dominic to do something against someone that Finn liked, and then Finn made the save, which tells us that Finn's changed. Because there's no evidence that Finn's character has changed. He's just been beat up by the Judgment Day. Do you follow the logic of what I'm saying here?
I do, but I'm sort of going to disagree with you here. Really? Because you've got it's just the MO of the Judgment Day. They kicked out Edge, they kicked out Damian Priest, and now they've kicked out Finn. I mean, it's just It's just the way they go about their business. I feel like it's fitting for the faction that they are and how they go about
Yeah,
their business and how they can carry themselves. There's no loyalty, so there isn't to the Judgment Day. I mean, if you were asked to join the Judgment Day, I wouldn't bother.
I saw a post on social media showing the Judgment Day and then the first Judgment Day, and it's like the Judgment Day present versus the original Judgment Day, which was Edge, Priest, and Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
Um, it's like that old saying where the caretaker says, "I've had the same broom for 25 years, but I've had to change the shaft in the head 15 times. It's not the same broom, right?" So it's like it's the same faction, but all the people are completely different in it from the start. So I think I saw someone saying on social media that you just have the Judgment Day forever, and it just continuously replenishes members.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, I think Finn and Dominic's going to be a great match at WrestleMania. I think it's a good way to go. I don't want to spend too long talking about this because we've got some really daft Spanish segments to get into later on. I do have a couple of quick ones of two that I want to mention. One's not on your sheet in front of you, which is going to maybe surprise you. What do you think of the Seth
Okay.
Rollins stuff? I quite like what they done the other day, and they had everybody come in the ring and they mixed up and he ran out. And where do you think that's going?
Joke's on you. It is on my sheet. I wrote it down because I was going to bring it up to you. But anyway.
Wow.
Anyway.
Wow, really? Wow. You're so smart.
So, so I had a theory. See what I did there? That we're going to obviously have Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul, right, at WrestleMania. I think that's where it's going to lead to. I think Logan Paul's the bigger one, like the bigger star in the
Bigger
division.
match.
That's where
Yeah.
yeah, 100%. But my reasoning, Jake Paul is behind all the masked men and working with Seth Rollins. That is what I think.
Shit. See if that happens. That is two things I'm going to say on that, right? One,
Yeah.
if that happens, that is pretty freaking creative from WWE. The second thing, if that happens, is you are a time traveler, and that is an unbelievable out of the blue prediction that I don't think anybody is making right now in the wrestling world. Not that I've seen it. If someone has made it, we haven't heard it, so therefore it's an original Hot Tie School Takes opinion from Nick. If that happens, that's unbelievable, and that's a brilliant pull from you, Mr. Nick.
Yeah.
That would be pretty
Every
cool.
now and again I get them. Every now and again I get those,
I
you
do
know.
think you're right. At WrestleMania, you will have that match. I think you're right. It's going to be Logan Paul, and you will have another masked individual interfere in the match, reveal himself to be someone pretty big. And I think if it's Jake Paul, that would be pretty class.
Especially if it's against Logan. I mean, could you imagine? And then you lead the SummerSlam, and now I'm just starting. This is where the fantasy booking just is start to flow now, James. And then you lead the Logan versus Jake, and I think as much as people would like hate it in their heads, realistically they know they're going to love it because the two of them are showmen, and they will put on an absolute clinic.
That's already in my mind. That would be a main event. I think that would be a main
Yeah.
event. I think we're going to hate us online, but if Jake Paul and Logan, I'm going to give the snap right now so that we can clip it for our social medias. If Nick is right and Jake Paul versus Logan Paul happens, that is going to main event. That should main event SummerSlam. And even though we hate both of them, we would still watch the hell out of that, and we would still love it.
And if you don't agree with that, go stick on AEW, would you?
Yes, because I think if you catch an AEW stream right now, you will be able to watch it for 5 seconds and see 15 Canadian, Mexican, French destroyers. Okay. I have one, and if you want to understand where that comment comes from, feel free to go look through our socials where Nick absolutely ripped the shit out of the Canadian Destroyer in AEW last month.
I'll say thank you very much to all the comments that we got about the Canadian Destroyers and Super Kicks as well. It was greatly appreciated. Thank you for making us a part of your algorithm. Thank you very much.
We love hate. Hate lets us know that we're going over, so that's great. Keep hating on us. I have one last topic, and I've put them both together because I think they're going to end up wrestling each other. What's Obafemi doing at WrestleMania, and who's challenging Brock Lesnar?
Obafemi, so I was thinking about this morning. I think it's good having Obafemi just go up against, essentially, I don't want to call them jobbers because they're not, but I mean, they're mid-carders. Like, I feel like the term jobber gets thrown around too easily now. And realistically, you are just a mid-card wrestler at best, and that's it. Like, you've got your Rusevs and your Miz. Like, and I don't want to shit on Miz because I really like him. But Rusev, you know, people were like, oh, he's in AEW and he did nothing, and then he left and he came back in the WWE, he's doing nothing. mean, man's earning a living. I'm sure he's happy. He may not be a champion, but he's putting on good matches. He's on regular TV. People are seeing him all the time, and he's wrestling, putting stars over like Obafemi. Like, I don't think it does any harm to Rusev or Miz to do these sorts of things. So I think Obafemi's going to make his way. He's gonna just saunter on, Just gonna go in, cruise control. He's just gonna smash a few boys up until he gets to WrestleMania. I don't think we'll know who Brock's actually going to fight until the night of WrestleMania. I think that's what's going to happen. No one's going to challenge him. No one's going to come out, and then that's when you get that big Nigerian walking down the ring.
And I think Brock puts him over as well.
I don't know. You need to protect him at all costs.
I'm going to put my flamingo out, and I'm going to say that Brock. I'm going to say you're right. Brock will hit the ring. Who's going to Brock? Michael Cole has a fit on the side, and then Obafemi will come out. They'll spend the next 4 weeks with Obafemi beaten, and they started off with he beat the War Raiders, and then it was Nats Rusev, which is a pretty big scalp for him, like you just said, despite what anyone else thinks. And then he'll go, and I think he'll beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Like, maybe not, but that's my feeling at the minute. And then we can just get a real big close up with Paul Heyman going.
Yeah, I think you're not far off, but I think it ends in like a DQ or something. I just think two big, heavy, meaty men that Vince McMahon loves so much. Like, he's sitting there right now having a field day. You know that.
Yeah, that'll be his main event.
100%.
Right. Okay, Nick. I think we'll move on from everything Road to WrestleMania. We have a lot to cover on this month's show. I had an analogy for that this month's show is like my son's sandwiches at school today. They're jam packed. So there you go. Sorry, I'm so sorry for that. I'm so sorry. Right. Okay. Right.
I'll see you later. I'm away.
Yeah, let's do that. But let's kill it all. Very quick topic to talk about here, and it was you actually mentioned this one. WWE 2K26 is about to hit. It's about to land. What do you think?
Yes, we're like a day or two away now. So we are. What was I going to say? We're a day or two away. People have got it already, early access. They paid like an absolute fortune just to get it. Absolute crazy amount of money. Games now in general are an absolute expense. There's a lot going on. They've changed, it's the biggest ever roster. They've got wrestlers from TNA, AAA, WWE, obviously past and present. They've introduced a lot of ragdoll physics now as well, which has really changed the game. I've seen a lot of clips online, and it just makes the game look more fun. There was a nice wee feature that I came across too, that Larry, CM Punk's dog, can be like a manager in one of the game modes, which I thought was pretty cool as well.
Yeah, that one is interesting. First thing you're going to do is just be Larry, I think, immediately. Sorry, folks, we had a bit of a technical issue with Nick. Some of those who are watching YouTube will have spotted his camera froze there a minute or two ago. Nick, you're back with us. You were just mentioning that Larry is a playable character as a manager in 2K26. Is that exactly why you want to buy the game, or will you buy the game?
I mean, why not have your created character managed? Excuse me. Why not have your created character in 2K managed by a dog? I mean, you can nearly argue we are already doing that, living our lives managed by dogs. All right.
I'm really interested in what the mechanics are. Like, will he interfere in the match? What's his finishing move? Larry hits the ring and breaks up the pin. Does a piss on the referee maybe halfway through. Takes a dump in the middle of the ring on top of whatever Riyadh season sponsorship there.
5-star dog splash.
No. I'm gonna say the last WWE game that I actually enjoyed was SmackDown versus Raw featuring ECW 2008. The reason for that is because I am sad and I love General Manager mode.
But that's been back now for a couple of years.
What's that? Yeah, I know, and I never really got into it. I don't even know what it's like these days. I think modern day games sort of take away from what it was back when I used to buy a game. You got to play everything. Now it's all arcade and microtransactions and all that sort of stuff. So but that's just me being old, right? I'm bald. I'm 34. It's game over for me. I can't keep up. Will you get the game? Will you get 2K26?
I will eventually, but I won't be paying an arm and a leg for it, is what they're charging currently. Yeah, I mean, base game, I think base game, you're talking like 70 quid, and then you've got like all these extra special packages. There's the King of Kings edition, which is like 80 quid, and then you've got like the Attitude Era edition, it's like 100 odd quid, and then there's like the full on like WCW edition, Monday Night Wars or whatever, like 140. They just keep, and all you're getting really is like additional characters or these wee extra cosmetic things for like your career and all that. It's pointless stuff, but people pay it. That's the problem.
They do. Whereas again, like I say, being old school, if I was to load up SmackDown versus Raw 2008 featuring ECW, I just complete the season mode and I get to unlock everybody, and then I've got them all unlocked, and that's it. But I'm old, and that's okay. I understand that this world is all about getting your hand in the cookie jar and getting as much money as you can out, so that's okay. I'll probably be like you. To be honest with you, I haven't bought a WWE game in a couple of years. I'll have a look at this one. Because I want to apparently play as a dog. That's it. Okay, Nick, shall we move on and talk about our good friends, our beautiful sponsors, shall we?
We shall, yes. We'll leave this one over to you because I spoke about them last time, James. So come on, pull your weight here a wee bit.
Please, guys, if you're interested, we are sponsored by W Energy. You can get your flavor online. We will put the link in the description for 10% off. Use code HOTTAGS, and they have all sorts of flavors. I think our email inbox is inundated every day with brand new flavors that we physically would either die of severe energy ingestion because we tried too many flavors, but there's so much out there, so many different options. And for two guys like myself and Nick who like to be as high energy as possible when we come on to our shows, W Energy is the way to go. So that is hot tags as your code for 10% off, and we'll share the link. Also, if you would like, Nick, I'll let you model it for us. If you would like a Hot Tags Cold Takes mug, please email hottagscoldtakes@gmail.com with your name, telling us that you would like a mug and your country of residence and your phone. And your phone, I told you, shit pen and teller, and your phone number. And if you want, you can state which of us you would like to pick up the phone. One of us, oh my gosh, he's just done a full illusion on screen. If you're not watching this on YouTube, Nick has just done a full illusion on screen, and I'm not going to tell you what I mean by that because I want you to go and watch it. Yeah, one of us will pick up the phone. We will ring you. We will have a chit chat. We'll spend 5 minutes on the phone talking about the show, talking about wrestling if you want, and we will take your order then and there. The mugs are 15 Great British pounds plus postage and packaging. So yeah, get in touch with us. And lastly, guys, if you don't want to do any, if you don't want to buy W Energy, if you don't want to get a mug, at least give us a like, a follow, or subscribe, or drop a comment telling us how much you hate and/or love us. We'd appreciate that at least. So please, you can find us on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at Hot Tags Cold Takes, and that is us.
And if you're lucky enough to do all those things, well, I'll say lucky enough, you will do all those things. If you do all those things, maybe you'll be the lucky one that'll get the BFF handshake from James, because I'm certainly not going to get one.
We will. Nick will fly you to one of our houses to be on the show. He will pay for your flights and accommodation and travel. Isn't that right, Nick? Moving on.
I don't work here anymore.
You told me off screen that you would. I can't believe that you're doing this. Okay, maybe that's not true. Right, we're going to move on now because I'm incredibly excited for the next segment of today's show.
Yes,
I'm about to put all the pressure on Nick. Nick, I would like to know what would happen if Ric Flair had his own dating agency.
Well, this is something that's been going around my mind since the last idea that we had with Undertaker working in the daycare. And if you didn't hear about that one, it's on all our socials. It's on episode 1. Go have a listen, and hopefully you will laugh as much as we did, and hopefully that you'll enjoy it as much as I had the idea in my head. So that brings us to another career crossroads, as I'm calling it now. Bum, bum, bum. Ric Flair has his own dating agency or app, preferably an app, right? So you've got your standard left and rights. You like someone, you don't like someone. Well, see, if you don't like someone, you have to chop the screen. you have to hit that. You have to hit that thing, and the phone feels it as well. Goes woo.
I was going to say, is there a soundtrack to
that? There is. There's always a soundtrack built into your phone as well. But these are all at a cost. But we'll get to the cost in a minute, James. If you are adamant that you want to, lock it down, and you think this is the one that you want to take home and style and profile with, well, put her in the figure 4. You lock them down. Swipe right on that one. figure four is locked in. They're going nowhere. They're yours now. They're going out. They're going with the man for dinner on a high rolling night. Moving on. Premium. This is what I was talking about. Premium costs 16 quid, pounds, euros, dollars, wherever you are. The number 16, it's equivalent for Ric Flair. It makes sense.
Wow.
But you know what he calls that pass? If you want to pay that money for this is called the Space Mountain Pass. So, so for you, every click that you make on this app as well, you're just getting the constant woo in the background. No matter what you do, you're clicking in the options there. It's just woo constantly, and it's just him screaming at you. There's no bios on this app either, by the way. What you need to be doing is, well, say what you need to be doing. What everyone needs to do as their bio is more a video promo. You have to cut a 60-second promo on why you think you're this eligible bachelor or bachelorette that's going to wine and dine, style and profile, going to do all the things. And every user, though, there's only one photo on the app. And the rule for the photo, James, you have to be wearing a robe.
Right, okay. My brain went many places during that.
So, hit me.
So you're a mum or a dad and you walk past your son's bedroom and all you hear is woo, 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 woo. He's in his bedroom chopping away, but not in the way that 16-year-old boys do. He's chopping away his phone, right? Lying there wearing a robe. Man in a robe, just chopping away at the screen. I think that is absolutely hilarious. Also, what's the TV advert going to be? It's just Ric Flair strutting in, woo, swiping the screen.
chopping a phone, and then it's just like, oh, I like this one, and then it sends like a digital Rolex comes through to the other person's phone.
Dude, I take it it's not the same journey on this for a woman as it is for a man. The woman just puts a photo in a robe up and they just have to go on a date with whoever wants. That's what it sounds like.
Oh yeah, it's more aimed at the men. Yeah, the women sort of have to go along with whatever happens. It's either figure four or chopped.
And that's it. And Ric Flair has to personally verify every single photograph that goes on to it from every woman that signs up. He's like, I will chop you back to the 80s, baby. Here we go.
They're just ideas and visions that I had of Ric Flair running the dating agency or app. Sorry, little points. I mean, I'm sure we could probably sit here if we had the time. We could go really ramble on with it even further. I think. I feel if we let your brain loose on this too, James, it's got more legs to it.
I'm holding back. I think we should launch it ourselves. I think just launch it ourselves. Did you see Ric Flair's recent cameos that he's been doing?
Yeah.
That's just him. That's the intro video to the app where he's just half tour. And for anyone who's not from where we're from in the world, half tour means kind of drunk. Just talking pure verbal diarrhea down the screen. And people are like, I will sign up, baby. And he has a heart attack 3 days into it because of all the photos he's getting sent. Oh, dearie me. Yeah,
each subscription to the Space Mountain Pass comes with like a year subscription to Little Blue Pills as well.
Personally delivered by Ric Flair. Or Ric Flair. and then he challenges you to a match. You have to have a match with him because no one else will. Yep.
You've got to go 60 minutes with him, and if you don't, he steals your date.
So you lock someone in, you figure for them, they get the digital Rolex, you get your phone automatically delivers you a little blue pill. Ric Flair brings it and he's like, it's great that you picked this person for a date, but me and you we gotta go. Woo! 60 minutes and then he falls asleep. While the match is on.
Oh, one more thing as well. Imagine when you're out having the dinner, and if you feel like the date's wrong, you just face plant, James. You just do the Ric Flair face plant into the soup or into the dinner.
Ric Flair dating agency. Let's get that in the bag. Let's get that one patented. We will run it in the background. I have no doubt Ric Flair will be up for it if he gets to have matches with random strangers. We've got 2 more topics we want to cover on today's show. One of them might be divisive, and it's the next one we're going to talk about. It is, what is your wrestling Mount Rushmore? And before we get into it, I want to say to everybody who's watching this right now or listening to this right now, let us know yours. And different people put different criteria on it, and I'm interested, and I haven't revealed anything about what criteria people or I might use for mine, because I'm interested to hear what yours are, and I'll get into the different options in a minute. So wrestling Mount Rushmore, I think we should do it one at a time. I think. Do you want to start?
I don't know if this is a good idea or not.
What why? Why is it not a good idea?
Oh, sure, we'll just roll with it and then we'll do something after. Don't worry, this is fine. Yes, so we'll do one at a time. This will work great. This is going to go better than I expected.
Oh shit! Okay,
you go first.
I'm really worried right now. Right? Okay. So I'm really worried about what you're going to say when it's your turn. Do you want me to do all 5 of mine?
No. We'll go back and forth.
Okay.
What do you mean all 5? It's only 4.
All right. Sorry. I selected. People go and they say the Mount Rushmore should be the 4 best, right? The 4 that have topped everything, the best wrestlers, the best draws, the best whatever. The actual Mount Rushmore is more of the first 4, the ones who got us going. And I've went down that route. So I have picked 4 people, 2 are from the 80s and 2 are from the 90s, whom without wrestling today would not be where it is. And I don't like one of them, by the way, so it's not about my wife smiling like that. Really I am so worried right now what you're going to say. Okay. Right. My wrestling Mount Rushmore. Number 1 is a wrestler, believe it or not.
Okay.
He is Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan is my first on my wrestling Mount Rushmore. Yeah, Pythons. I think Hulk Hogan, without him, he made it mainstream back in the 80s. He carried that into the 90s. He launched the WCW side of the Monday Night Wars. And I think he deserves to have his face up there. And I know there are lots of issues which we probably shouldn't talk about. And there's an inside joke about Nick's pronouns that we're not going to talk about on the show. And I'm not going to mention that. That's just for me and him. Nick knows what I'm referring to. Nick, Hulk Hogan for me is on my Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, and that's a fair assessment to make. But I just want to see your Mount Rushmore and raise you my Mount Rushmore. See, you mentioned about pythons and stuff there. Well, I'm going to send you a cobra. Santino Marella!
No. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. What are we doing? Why are we doing this? So, from what you've just said, is I've taken this seriously. And you have not, right? Tell me why Santino Marella is in your wrestling Mount Rushmore. And by the way, I'm all for it. Go ahead.
Well, the man can speak many languages: Italian, American, American English, English American, Italian.
Not English.
He also doesn't discriminate against genders. He's also got a very good twin sister as well. Yes, James is we're
He's got a twin sister. You've never seen them in this
Cobra.
together. They must have a very good relationship.
But yes, Santino Marella. I mean, and he's Italian. Got to put a bit of European stamp on the mountain. I mean, why wouldn't you? The man is comedy gold. I mean, he put John Cena over. Like
John Cena. And,
I will not hear any bad chat about Santino Marella on the fact that he's on this Mount Rushmore.
I love it, to be honest with you. I think Santino Marella on the Mount Rushmore. We'll recap our 4 each at the end. I feel like I don't want to give mine now because mine is actual serious, but I think it's okay. Right, my number 2 on my wrestling Mount Rushmore was someone else, but I've changed my mind. before you say it's Santino Marella, so I'm not copying you. I have changed it to Vince McMahon.
Okay. Yeah.
He launched the wrestling as it is today. He got rid of the territories. He made it national. He made it mainstream. He made Hulk Hogan as big as Hulk Hogan is. Let's be honest. He also got kicked in the balls by Linda McMahon at WrestleMania 17. Nick just he definitely injected steroids, I think is what you were trying to say there. He had the steroid trial, which is great. Well done him. We do not endorse steroids. And he's also a massive pervert today. So I guess that puts a bit of a black stain on it. And we're not going to get into that because we're going to talk about that in our final segment. But Vince McMahon for
James.
me. Yeah.
I'm just noticing a theme here with your Mount Rushmore. It's full of perverts and racists.
I dare you to say that to the two people that are next on my list and see what happens. Because the first one is dead and he can't do anything about it. The second one doesn't even know how to drive a car, as you can tell from the actions. And the next two, I think, would still as a Northern Irish man would say, knock your ballocks clean in. So I would just hold that comment before you hear my final two.
Okay.
So
I was just going to say there, sorry for cutting you off, James. I was just going to say, I think adding Vince McMahon into your Mount Rushmore, I don't think I've ever heard that. I mean, me personally, I haven't heard anyone adding Vince McMahon into their Mount Rushmore, so I think that's a good shout. And I mean, it makes sense. I mean, you couldn't have WWE for what it is today without Vince, and I think that is probably a very, very good shout. Like, probably, yeah, you couldn't argue against it. I really don't think.
Not only that, you wouldn't have had WCW in the 90s.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have had WWF. You wouldn't have had WWE as it is today. You wouldn't have had AEW. You wouldn't have had TNA. You wouldn't have maybe not even had New Japan. I know people say, yeah, well, if someone different made that, it doesn't matter. Wrestling became popular because of what he did with it. And it moved out of the bingo halls and became mainstream. So Vince McMahon is number 2 on my list. Who is on yours?
I'm just going to blow my kazoo real quick for Vince McMahon. That was me playing No Chance in Hell.
It didn't sound like it. Carry on.
My number 2. Now, if you listeners or watchers, whatever you want to get up to in your spare time, I hope you're ready. Because number 2, EUGENE.
Nick Dinsmore himself.
Again, a man who's multi-talented. He played a clown, acted the clown. Folks, if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Music right now, James is popped. James is gone. I would advise you heading over to YouTube right now. Fast forward it, or even listen. Just listen. I don't know why I'm telling you to fast forward because this show's been class. James is gone. This reaction. Anyway, he also proves that people with disabilities can't be discriminated against. That's
popped me for many reasons. Sorry, carry on.
It just makes me composure. It just makes me think that EUGENE was a star. First of all, James has gone back inside his box for this.
I'm back.
Anyway,
okay,
yes. So EUGENE was a star. He was Doink the Clown at one stage. So he lived the clown. He played the clown. He was the clown. Then he was EUGENE, who also was a clown. Everyone loved him. Tell me someone who hated him. Really, he was. Eric Bischoff's. No, he was his nephew. That's family. That's different. You're meant to hate family.
Triple H.
But I can't hate on Triple H. You know that, James. Triple H can do anything, and I'm like, oh, come on, it's Triple H.
Oh, it's all right. It's only Triple H. Oh, yeah.
Like, he could say our podcast is shit, and I'd be like, oh, but it's Triple H.
It's all right if it's Triple H. Oh, dear.
I feel like
I cannot believe
doing these one by one was a great idea.
I can't believe this is what's happened. All right. Okay, I'm going to bring myself back, and then we're going to go back to serious talk. I don't think I yeah. My next person is The Undertaker.
Oh, God, knock his bollocks in.
Well, maybe not. To be fair, maybe not. I
He
think
works
the
in a
Undertaker.
daycare, James.
I think the Undertaker is a timeless character who well loved across the piece. Even though he played the same character for the most of his career, he found ways to reinvent it. He found ways to make it relevant. He did hang on a little bit too far at the end. The big lads like another version of Ric Flair. He didn't want to go. But I think the Undertaker character will forever be revered. A deserved member of the Hall of Fame. I love what he's doing right now, going around and announcing people into the Hall of Fame. I think that's a great use of him. And yeah, I think for me, he was big and he done what he done in the 90s. He was there long enough. And also during the early, well, not quite early, from sort of 2003 to maybe 2009, 10, maybe even a wee bit later when WWE was sort of on a downward tranche. He remained probably the biggest, most recognizable star alongside John Cena. And I will give a spoiler for my final guess. It is not John Cena. I'll tell you why in a moment. But I think Undertaker was massive in the early 90s, all the way through and all the way through the 2010s. And I think he, for me, is on the Mount Rushmore of wrestling people. Right. Do you know what? I feel like I should give my fourth one because I want to hear both of yours in consecutive. I'm going to give my fourth one now because I struggled to compose myself again there. My final member, it's not John Cena, even though John Cena's 25-year career probably is the greatest wrestler of all time. And I preface this by saying at the start that I don't believe Mount Rushmore should be about who the best is. It's about the people who got us to where we are today. Hence Ric Flair, or not Ric Flair, hence Hulk Hogan, Vince McMahon, Undertaker. Maybe a little bit of Ric Flair, but
Eugene Santino Marella.
yeah, I mean, listen, they were the ones that was competing for the spotlight with the Undertaker in 2008, 2009, right? And Snitsky was kicking babies, and I hope he's not on your list. I'm trying not to say things about people that might be on your list now, so I'm leaving it. The final person, it's not John Cena, because even though I think John Cena is the greatest of all time, he's definitely in my mind the greatest of all time. The next man, the number one, is the man who took over from Hulk Hogan in the 90s. It's Stone Cold Steve Austin. He just catapulted WWE to new levels. And I think even to this day, the sound of that glass shattering will have a whole country, anyone that hears it stand on their feet. Even though the last time he appeared at WrestleMania, he smashed his quad into a fan in the front row. But listen, that's just what Austin does, right? So for me, Steve Austin is the fourth, the main event, and I can imagine that beautiful Mount Rushmore, Hulk Hogan's face, probably with lots of graffiti on it. Vince McMahon's face the same with lots of graffiti on it, and then Undertaker and Steve Austin looking good. They're my four Mount Rushmore, not five. If we're going to have five, I'll put John Cena on there, but I'm not allowed five. They're my four. They're the ones who, if without them today, you and I do not have a wrestling podcast.
100%.
As I put it. Yeah, so that's my four. Right? I'm going to just stop speaking for a second because we're going to throw back to you, Nick, because I am worried. I am worried, okay? But also incredibly excited at the same time. Who are your two final Mount Rushmores? We've had Santino Marella. We've had Eugene. What the bit that popped me more about the Eugene thing was when you said he showed that disabled people could do it, given the fact he was a man playing a character. Right, okay. Who are your final two? Google Nick Dinsmore, man. Google it. Right. Not Nick Hot Tags, Nick Dinsmore. Right, okay. Who's number three?
Right. Number three. Growing up, it's your reaction already. Growing up, we all used to love, looking at the wrestlers and going, they are like the equivalent of superheroes.
Shit.
So, they're like your stars, your Austins, your Triple H's, your Undertakers, and you're like, these are next level, like they are superhuman superheroes. Well, there was no greater superhero than, let me tell you, stand back.
What's that?
There's a hurricane coming for you.
I was already thinking back to Royal Rumble I want to say 2002. I could be wrong. Where he comes out the Triple H
Is
and
this
Austin in the middle of the ring and tries to
the choke
choke
slam?
slam him. I was thinking about that 20 seconds ago. I can't believe. So the Hurricane, who had his biggest feud ever with The Rock, Hollywood Rock, in early 2000s. He used to hide in The
Exactly,
Rock's
already a
changing room.
star.
He used to watch The Rock strudel when he was getting changed, according to The Rock. The Hurricane is on there. Now, listen, I'll give you some dues on that one. The Hurricane is still, he's still backstage in WWE? Shane Helms?
Yes, he
Still
is.
doing
He
stuff?
is.
Where did the Hurricane find his hole in your heart, Nick? Why does he got there for you?
Because every kid loves a superhero, James. Every child, every grown ass man needs a hero, and he was the hero we needed. Yeah, you had your Hulk Hogan's and stuff and all, but like green sells, doesn't it? If you put on a
Yeah,
green leotard, green cape, green green sells. I'm
green,
gonna tell you
green.
it again. So you have the green from Santino Morella's Italian flag. There's green somewhere in Eugene, or
Okay,
all
we
over,
decided that.
or all over his face, probably. And then obviously the hurricane. I mean, without the hurricane, we wouldn't have had Mighty Molly. Without
No.
the hurricane, we wouldn't have had Marvel and the Avengers. I
So,
mean,
so hold on, hold on. The Hurricane is directly responsible for Avengers Endgame, is what you're telling me right now. You can
yes, yes,
directly
James, I
trace.
am.
You can. You can directly. Don't be so serious, man. You're totally sending my head away. You're telling me that. You're telling me that Thanos, Iron Man, the Snap, defeating Thanos is directly impacted by Hurricane watching The Rock strudel backstage in the early 2000s.
James, what part of yes are you not following here?
Every
And
fucking part of it, Nick. Every part
see,
of
see, see that snap. You know where that came from?
it.
The snap
The Hurricane's
suplex.
the Hurricane's wrist as he tried to choke slam someone.
Now, as much as I would love to talk more about the hurricane here, I'm going to give you number 4 because I know you're busting to find out
Shit.
who number
I
4
forgot there was
is.
another one coming. I forgot there was another one coming. Right.
R-Truth.
I knew you were going to say that. That's not a surprise to me. That is not a surprise to me. I agree. You know
R.
what? He's on mine. Fuck it. Vince McMahon's out. R-Truth is it.
Again, there's no one more versatile, no one more funnier than R-Truth. R-Truth does it all. He can sing, dance, rap, wrestle. Can you? I can't.
I can do sing, dance, rap. I can do 3 of them things.
Do it.
I can't. I can do 3 of them with 10 years of training. Well, hold on. Hold on.
Okay,
No, I can't.
okay.
Sorry, I was lying. I'm completely lying to you. That's a complete lie. You
Let it
called me on
be
the lie. You called me on the lie.
let it be known, folks, that James is a liar. See, if I had a massive liar button right now, I would press it. You know what? You don't even deserve that, Flamingo.
I thought I could. I was a liar. So,
Anyway, James, I'm just going to recap there on you. I did do a serious one as well. I'm just going to blast them out for you. I thought it'd be funny
such a
to sort of.
catfish. Such a catfish, man.
I
Well,
thought
hold
it'd be
on. Before
fun.
you do that, you wait. Santino Morella. Let's
Yes.
just think about this. What is their impact in the business? Santino Morella is now the GM of TNA. What a man. Eugene inspired disabled people all over the world. Apparently,
Wouldn't have had
the
the Special Olympics
Hurricane.
without you, team.
The Hurricane literally invented the Avengers. Apparently, okay.
And the
Even though
Hurricane. There.
and the Hurricane, there was never a hurricane before the Hurricane. Apparently, tell that to the
Mm-hmm.
people who died of hurricanes in the 90s. It wasn't. It was different. And our
R.I.P.
truth, our, you're awful. And our truth, right? Okay. I don't know if I need to hear a serious one because that's probably the 4 greatest names I've ever heard in my life.
I'm not going to go into the details and the whatever of why the 4 serious ones I have, because
All right, let's hear them.
it's a given. So Hulk Hogan, John Cena, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and The Undertaker.
Okay, so we had three the same. We had three the same.
And there's room for changing, pulling people out now. But again, it cuts back to what you're basing your Mount Rushmore on, I guess. And for me, it was who sold the most, essentially. Who lifted wrestling and carried it on their back. And Hogan did it, Cena did it, Austin did it, and Taker, like you said as well, for a long, long time, did it.
He did.
And
Yeah, I think so.
notable names, obviously, like The Rock, HBK, Ric Flair, Bret Hart, Eugene.
Right. And by the way, see if you go back now on YouTube. Actually, I'm going back to this because you've honestly you've blown my mind with the Eugene thing. If you go back in YouTube videos of Eugene, he had some pretty big moments. The Rock returned to defend Eugene against the coach. He wrestled Triple H. He had the whole thing where William Regal cut one of his best ever face promos against Triple H defending Eugene. So hey, let me tell you, there's a Hall of Fame in there. There's a Mount Rushmore in there. It's maybe imaginary, fake, and BS for this podcast, but listen, it is valid, and you are valid to me, Nick.
It was very hard for me to leave out Val Venus, Taka Michinoku, Funaki. It was Steve Blackman, Tajiri. It was really hard for me. Blue Meanie. This was a really hard one for me.
Val Venus. Nothing like a bit of
ladies.
90s wrestling. Nothing like a bit of 90s wrestling to have a literal and porn star on the show. Okay. Guys, that is our Mount Rushmore. Yeah, that is our Mount Rushmore. We're getting close to the end of this month's show. If you're watching this on a clip version, if you're watching a clip of what I'm saying right now on one of our socials, you have missed a lot. So make sure you get onto the show and watch it. I think there's a clip in just me laughing hysterically at Eugene because that was intense. So we've got one last thing to talk about, and this might be divisive because there's a lot of love and hate for the man right now. I've just put him in my Mount Rushmore, Vince McMahon. This is the start of a segment we're calling the What If segment, and we'll talk about different scenarios. We've got loads of them. If there's any What Ifs you guys would like to hear, drop us a comment and let us know. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe, please. And we can cover a What If on a future episode. We won't do the same thing every month, but we'll cover it again. Here is our What If for this month. What if Vince never retired? What if Vince McMahon never retired? What if he wasn't a filthy, dirty pervert, apparently? And what if he wasn't an adulterer and didn't have to retire? So my question is, what would WWE look like now? So who would the main event stars be today? Where would Triple H be? And I've got one more question which I'll ask at the end. So who do you think the main events... okay, we're talking the main event of WrestleMania this year is going to be Randy and Cody, Roman, and Punk. Is that still a viable WrestleMania 2-night main event under Vince McMahon?
No. I think Roman's. I think Roman's still there. I think you're potentially getting, if Vince McMahon was still in charge, I think we're still getting Roman and Cody. I think that's a main event that Vince McMahon would be all about. Either they are the two stars in that company that can make you the most money, that'll elevate the company, whether it's heat or non-heat. Roman and Cody is where Vince goes. Like, I strongly believe that. I don't think there's anyone else on the roster that Vince would look at otherwise for a WrestleMania main event.
Sorry, folks, more technical difficulties. I've had to change mics. Yeah, I do think Roman and Cody is a main event that Vince booked. I think Brock Lesnar is more prominent, and obviously a lot of Brock Lesnar's reason for being away is in relation to the Vince McMahon stuff. So I think you've got more Brock Lesnar. And I think... I'm not sure what else. I think the John Cena retirement storyline would have been different under Vince. I'm not sure he would have allowed him to turn heel. I think that's something that Triple H would have allowed. I don't think Vince would have went down that route with John Cena. I'm not convinced Randy Orton's main event in WrestleMania this year if Vince is in charge. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong there because he did main event under Vince. I'm not sure he is now. So.
No. I'm also not convinced that AJ Styles gets the retirement that he did. I don't think he gets the night in Atlanta. I don't think that happens either. I don't think AJ gets as big of a, if I could speak the Spanish flowing now.
Really?
I don't think AJ gets as big of a acknowledgement. There we go. I can talk.
Wow.
That he did. That he entered it into Eugene as we speak. If Vince McMahon was still in charge, we wouldn't have got the big AJ farewell. There, I could have just
No.
said that. Gunther, I think Gunther potentially could main event the WrestleMania under Vince McMahon.
Yeah, he was sort of starting to grow under Vince anyway. He was sort of in that he was beating up Ludwig Kaiser every week under Vince McMahon. So I think that's something that would have happened under him. I just think that I don't think Triple H is a million miles away from where Vince would have been, but I think you're right. He likes a slightly different type of star. I'm not sure. For example, you mentioned AJ Styles. There's no chance in heck AJ Styles is getting to the Hall of Fame this year if Vince McMahon's in charge. I don't think that's happening. I'm not sure Stephanie would have put Stephanie into the Hall of Fame this year either. I think that's very much a Triple H thing. Where do you think Triple H would have been? Would he still be in charge of NXT?
I don't know, because Vince was starting to
Move him
put
up.
his fingers in that a wee bit, wasn't he, as well?
Yeah.
I think Vince wanted to control everything. I think he would have sort of lifted the reins a wee bit and took them away, the control from Triple H on NXT, as much as it was Triple H's baby, and he guided the way for what NXT is. I don't think we would have got the call-ups that's on the roster at the minute if Vince was still there. I don't think we would have maybe seen Trick Williams on the roster at the moment. Obafemi, I think Vince would have loved him.
Yeah,
I think Vince definitely would have been on the roster. I don't think we get the likes of your Soul Rookas on the roster. I don't think we get them. Joe Hendry, I don't think he's a Vince McMahon guy. I think that's just a gimmick that Vince McMahon would hate. Something shocking. In terms of the women, I don't think we got Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley at Mania either. If Vince McMahon's booking that, I think he could be looking at, say, I think he would have split the tag teams up. If the tag team of Rhea and Io Sky had still been going, I would have said he would have just let them have like a burnout match between each other. Yeah. Or maybe likes of a. Sorry, I was going to say, and maybe a Rhea versus Becky or something, or he would have had Rhea and AJ Lee, something like that.
Yeah, well, so you've just said AJ Lee. Does CM Punk come back under Vince McMahon?
Not a chance.
Yeah,
no chance in hell.
No chance in hell, yeah. And I think that's one of the key things that I wanted to get to. It was one of the last things I wanted to say on this topic, is I don't think you get CM Punk back if Vince McMahon's there. And I don't think it's because Vince wouldn't have wanted to bring him back, which is strange. And although a lot was made of Punk and Triple H disliking each other, I think that I just don't think Punk would have went for. I don't know. Look, maybe we're wrong. Maybe someone in the comments will tell us that we're wrong. I don't think CM Punk's back. I do think you're right. I don't think we're getting the main event that we're getting now. I do think we would have got Cody and Roman. I think Brock Lesnar would have been more prominent still during this time. And I think
Seth Rollins would have been heavily more pushed into the main event, I think, too, as well.
Yeah, I think he liked him. So, look, I don't think it would have been massively different, but there are some little things. I think one of the big things that the fans love is the AJ Styles stuff. I don't think we would have got that. I think you're right about that. I don't think we would have got AJ Styles. But what we can say is that... Oh, actually, I've got one other thing. There are rumors that Vince is in talks to buy back the WWE.
If that was to happen, surely they'd want it to be just as like a silent partner, where like his name is nowhere to be seen. He's there, we know he's there, but he's not there essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'd like to sort of touch on an idea too. I mean, it's too deep to get into for this episode of our podcast. Maybe we'll come back to it in another episode. Those reallys get me.
All right.
Like, I think as well, the bigger question to this, never mind, what if Vince McMahon wasn't the pervert or whatever, or never retired, is that what if Vince McMahon never inherited WWE from his dad?
Ooh.
That's the bigger question that we could come back to, at another time, because we're not going to have the time to talk about something that big this episode.
that is a future what if, and I will
Yeah.
illustrate that by saying we wouldn't be answering the what ifs right now if that had have happened. That's my opinion. We would not be sat here today if Vince McMahon hadn't inherited or strong armed the WWE off his dad and then strong armed all the territories and was a massive prick, world renowned. But like,
Mm.
I mean, Jeebers, imagine his music hits one more time. Like, wow. And he looks a mess, by the way. You've seen the state of him walking about with his moustache and all. That would be. I actually think that would be really funny. But that's just my opinion on it. Nick, we've done a what if. What if Vince never retired? I would love to hear, and I think that's such a divisive topic that half the people would despise the idea of Vince being involved, and half the people would like it because it's kind of funny. That's what I'm talking about there. Is if he was to buy back the business, that I think that would be kind of hilarious. I would be in the hilarious side, like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? A lot of people would be in and I'm not going to get into the court case that's ongoing because we have a big chance of being cancelled if we say too much. But there's a lot going on there, and we'll not go over that. A lot of money was spent and a lot of chaos happened, which is unsurprising. And if anybody listens to the likes of Bruce Pritchard's podcast, and people hate him too, by the way, he talks a wee bit about some of the stuff that happened, but he does it from
a love sponge. Sorry.
Yeah. He does it from a Vince side. What if Vince never retired? I think the landscape would be different right now. But what I can say, he's on my Mount Rushmore. And if not for Vince, you and I would be sat here today, Nick. So, another hour-long show in the can. How do you feel?
Tired.
Yeah. I finished my 10 of Monsters, so I'm the same. I'm going to go back. I'm really going to just need to digest that Mount Rushmore of yours. There's a lot of work to be done from an editing standpoint because there's a lot we need to clip to show the world that we talked about today. And I'm excited to do that over the next couple of days. Guys, please, if you've made it this far in episode 2, thank you so much for listening to us. Episode 1, episode 2. Hopefully, we're starting to move forward in terms of the quality that I'm having fun. I've enjoyed it. So thank you very much, Nick.
Yes. And I'm also having an absolutely unreal Spanish time as well, James. And I'm so glad that I'm part of this journey. I'm so glad that we're now in the episode 2. I feel like we've gone slightly big.
Sorry. Shall we call it a day, Nick?
I think we should. I mean, it's been a great episode. So much we've covered. So much fun was had here. Hope you've enjoyed it as much as we've had. We've popped each other in more ways than one. Hope we've popped you. Hope you've enjoyed what you've listened to. Hope you've enjoyed what you listened to.
In a comedic online way, Nick. We'll see you next time. We'll see everybody next time on Hot High School Takes. And
James, I've been Nick.
Let the count